I don't want to criticize Cody, but...
Don't worry, Robin. I have no problem criticizing Cody. Hi, I'm James, and this is my take on reality. Let's get it. I want to show a clip where Cody is being asked about visiting his daughter Isabel. This is Cody's response.
I don't know if that means that, Cody, you can't come over anymore since she's going to go back to school. Is that what that means?
It's hard to not take it personally that he doesn't want to come over. So I'm like, it's your kid.
Now, as you can tell, Cody is disaffected by the importance of seeing Isabel and spending time with his daughter. It's not a big deal. I mean, I don't know. You want to go see her? I don't know. Well, who cares? I don't care. Do you care? Nobody cares. And he takes it as a personal affront. Cody is by far the biggest baby man. He takes the position that even as the adult, as the father, that somehow it's on the kids' shoulders to make sure that the relationship between him and them stays healthy and continues to move in the right direction. He talks about it as though, oh, okay, yeah, it's on y'all. If you decided you want to go to school, I'd see that as a personal betrayal of my trust. And if you betray my trust, then I don't have to treat you as though you're part of my family anymore. And he wonders why there's such a strong revolution against him when it comes to his older kids. Why so many of them are coming out at him, slashing out at him. He's blaming the mothers for his ill relationship with his kids, when in fact, the problem that he has lies squarely on his shoulders. It's your responsibility to make sure that you have that strong relationship with your kids and your kids' moms. It's on you, especially being as though you just consciously decided to engage in a polygamous style relationship with multiple families, multiple wives in multiple locations, and you want everybody to make it convenient for you? Come on, man. Be an adult. One of the things that kind of banged me up, Isabel is going back to school. She needs to get a test so that he can come over and visit her. Let's watch this clip.
She told me she was going to go talk to you about getting a test scheduled so she could go test.
She has the link to get herself tested.
Oh, I'll have to talk to her.
She's 17 years old. She can take care of scheduling her own test.
Some people just don't do that stuff.
Now, if you noticed, one of the things that Cody mysteriously talks about is Izzy's going back to school. She needs to get a test so I can come over and visit her. Did you schedule a test, Christine, who's states and states and hundreds of miles away? Did you organize a test for me, for my child who is in the same state? You know, she's 17 years old. She's too young to set up a test so I can come over and visit her. What he fails to mention is that it's not just Isabel in the house. Gwendolyn, his other daughter with Christine, is also in the house and would like to see him. Gwendolyn is clearly an adult. She's 21 now. At the time, she would have been 19, 20 years old. He says it as though there's no other way that he can go and see her. That bothers me. It bothers me on a couple levels. First level, when he talks about the mothers need to make it more convenient for me to be able to get over there. I don't want my daughter calling to make these arrangements. I mean, she's only 17 years old. She can't call for herself. This is the same man. They were living in that big house all together. Mary, Christine, and Janelle were all living in the house with all their kids. Christine got an overnight job where she had to get up and leave. She had to leave her 10-year-old child to watch her then infant child, Truly, so that she could go to work. She asked Cody, hey, Cody, father, would you be able to just stop in and check to make sure the kids are getting in bed okay? Cody said, oh yeah, that's when she tried to make me do some stuff I didn't want to do because this is the other wife's time and she wanted extra time, and this is ridiculous that she's trying to encroach on other women's times, other households' times, and I wasn't going to do that. But this is your child. At 17, she can't make a doctor's appointment for herself. She's about to move to another state, but she can't make a doctor's appointment to go get a COVID test? I had one of my subscribers, they had mentioned, and correctly so, that there are fathers who want to be a part of their kids' lives and can't because the mother's not happy with the child support, or maybe the father had stepped out on her, or there was some issue in a relationship. And so therefore, the way the mother is trying to exact revenge on the father in this case is by denying the father any visitation with the child. That's absolutely not the case with Kody. Kody has every opportunity to see these kids, but he chooses not to. He sat there and made a big deal about Christine not allowing him to see the girl and her not getting the test to make it convenient for him. Janelle even made a suggestion later on that he could go over to the house and sit in the backyard. Here's another suggestion. I was very careful with the whole epidemic and the pandemic situation. What I did was my father, when he came over to see us, or he came to my house or I went to his house, he has some issues, medical issues. He's 80 years old. And I was not going to not see him, and he wasn't going to not come and visit me and visit my kids. So he would come over, and when he came over, he would wear a mask, or I would go over to his house, I would wear a mask. We would clean the area where he's going to be, and he would just hang out, and we would have a good time. We would sit, laugh, talk, do that, all that, because his visit was important. His visit was important. See, when things are important to you, you make a way to make it happen. If him going to see his daughter Isabel or Gwendolyn was important to him, or truly was important to him, truly important to him, pun intended, then he would make sure he took every opportunity to make that happen. But when things are not important to you, you find every excuse in the book not to do it. And that's exactly what he does.
Well, I've specifically asked that Brianna and Solomon not go back to school.
Gosh, Isabel would love a phone call from her dad saying, can you please not go back to school in person so I can come see you? Could you please go get COVID tested so I can come over and hang out with you because I really miss you?
After watching the clip, I didn't understand why Christine was so moved. She was so distraught by the fact that Kody didn't call Isabel and ask her personally to stay home so that she could see him and spend time with him, and even the idea of like contacting her to go get tested so he could come over and spend time with her. She was challenged by the idea that he would ask the other two children, Robin's other two children, to stay home or stay virtual so that he can continue to see them in the house safely. But then it occurred to me that there is an issue where Christine is saying that Robin and her kids are the preferred family out of everyone. And I didn't really make the connection that Brianna is not Kody's natural child. Brianna is actually one of the kids that he adopted from Robin's previous marriage. And so it really hurt Christine's feelings, and it probably will hurt the relationship between Kody and Isabel, as well as Christine's other kids when they find out about it. They're Kody's kids, and he can't be bothered to spend time with them. Oh, you guys made a choice not to spend time with me, and I'm fine with that. But with Robin's kids, you make an extra step, extra effort to make sure that you're around all of those children. And that has to bother these kids. So when you complain, Kody, when he complains that the wives are poisoning the children against him, the truth of the matter is, Kody, your actions are poisoning the children against you. It's what you do that make the kids resent you. If the kids see that these other children are getting everything that they're not getting, then they're going to be jealous. They're going to be envious. They're going to be upset. You have to understand that the wives, as adults, they get upset about it. So you have to understand that the children are going to be upset about it. One of the things that always bothered me about polygamous relationships was the idea that, especially if you have 4 or 5 wives, these women will only get one night a week with you. And when they get one night a week with you, who wants to talk about problems on the only night I get to spend with the person that I care about? I'm not going to sit there and talk about bills and issues with the house and the plumbing and have you come over to fix stuff when there's issues that are going on in the house. I want to spend that time with you because this is the only night I'm going to get this week. Like, same. With the kids, if the kids have issues and problems, are they going to be able to spend that night with you as a parent, a loving dad, when you come over? Or are they going to sit there and talk about them not doing their homework or talking in class or showing up to school late or having trouble getting up or missing a bus? Do the mothers say, okay, you know what? I want my kids to experience the good side of their father, so I'm not going to share these issues with them. These are all complications that you have when you have these type of households. The mothers and the children are left short because they're not getting fed emotionally, spiritually, physically. They're not getting all that feedback and all that love and attention. They're only getting the segmented versions of it. And it's a huge backdoor, in a way, a free pass for Kody, because if he doesn't have to deal with the day-to-day issues, and everything that happens with the kids is essentially the mother's issues and the mother's problems, and I'm only there for the good times, then how am I a father? I'm not a father. I'm just Mr. James. Now, when it comes to Truly, one of the things that really bothers me, once these kids turn 18, 19 years old, 17 in some cases, 16, Kody don't want nothing to do with them.
I understand this is important for Isabel, but Truly, every time I go home, Truly is really excited to see me. Teenage kids don't need parents quite like, preteens do. And so the fact that Truly and I have these long conversations, we talk about what she's doing and stuff like that, and she's actually engaging me, that's still an important factor. It's important for Truly. It's important for me.
First and foremost, Kody's idea or notion that only small kids need their parents, that's utter bullshit. I'm sorry, I have to say it what it is. I have to call it like I see it. I am 50 years old. My mother passed away a few years back. And there hasn't been a day that I don't think about my mother. Multiple times during the course of the day. There's nothing I wouldn't give just to sit down and have a conversation with her. At my age, that relationship that I don't have anymore because she passed away is important to me. There's things that I would love to call her up and ask her about or talk to her about or get her input on. That kind of thing. My dad is still around. I call him and I talk to him and we could talk for hours and have a great old time. You, as a child, you always look for your parents. That's not something that you outgrow. Just because you turn 17 or some arbitrary age of 18 or 21, all of a sudden you don't need your dad or your mom no more. What is wrong with you, you psychopath? Of course you need your parents. If you're a good parent, you need your kids and your kids need you. But Kody, there's something wrong with this guy. To be able to come out of your mouth and say, oh yeah, well, they turned 16. I ain't really worried about them. I'm really worried about Truly, because when I come over there and I see Truly, we sit there and we talk. And, kids need their fathers when they preteens. But after they turn teenagers, they don't really need us anymore. Let's go through the cycle of development. 0 to 5 is when you really imprint on a child. That's when you start to give them your personality. That's when their personality is developing. At anywhere from 6 to about 12 years old, you're teaching them about life. You're teaching them, trying to instill values in them. That you're putting into them the things that you want them to know and carry with them for the rest of their lives. And from 13 all the way up to about 16 years old or 18, 21, really about 25, that's when you're just trying to rough the edges. You're trying to smooth everything out. The ironic part is when he says, it's important that you have them preteen. Okay, you're teaching them theory at preteen years. In the preteen adolescent years, you're teaching them theory. When they hit high school and they about 13, 14 years old, they're in prime time. Because now they're actually making choices, and these life choices can affect them for the rest of their lives. And if you fail to be there, you fail to lend counsel, you fail to give them guidance, then you're failing your children. Now is the time when people are coming up to them asking them about smoking, drugs, alcohol, sex, gambling, porn, so on, so forth. This is the time when they can make lifelong mistakes. And you, Kody, think that now is the time that you can take a back door and slide out the back and not have to worry about it anymore. There is something wrong here. Now, the next thing I'm going to point out and this might be a little controversial. To me, I think he's using Truly because he understands that Christine wants to leave. And not only does she want to leave him, but she wants to leave the state. And when she leaves the state, he's afraid she's going back to Utah. And what did he say on the first episode when he was talking about her going away to the state? He's afraid she's going to get to Utah and she's going to come after his money. It ain't got nothing to do with that child, because we see how he treats his kids as soon as they turn 17, 18 years old. He's not worried about the other two, because Gwendolyn and Isabel still live in the house. In fact, I would think that you might want to go check out your teenage daughter who's in the house by herself to make sure everything is okay. I mean, call me crazy. My name is James. This has been my take on reality, and I'm out.
Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side, PCH, country limit. I don't need a guy.